Hey YouTube, it's Morgan, aka the Mountaineer. Sitting out here on the front stoop again. Today I'm smoking a Hacker with some Northwoods. I've been smoking for a while. I've out here my coffee mug, if that looks familiar. It's basically modeled after my whiskey glasses, which themselves were modeled after Pigeon River Pottery's whiskey glasses that we got from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Just drinking some coffee, some afternoon coffee. This was my first coffee of the day and last, because it's getting a little late, but I had a Red Bull this morning. I had another interview at 9 over Microsoft Teams. I think that went fairly well, but I mean, I'm not the best at interviews in this format. I'm not as nervous. Obviously, it's not live. It's something I can edit, but there it's live. This was with 7 people, and you know, my livelihood could depend on it. So, and I'm an introvert anyway, very shy, not good with new situations, new people. But I think it went fairly well, and I should hear back. I think they said late Monday, early Tuesday, whether or not I'll get a third interview, and that will be on site next week, middle to late next week. Little traffic. So that's encouraging. I've gotten a couple, an email yesterday and a letter today saying, we got your resume, but we're looking at other candidates at this time, so that's always a little bit depressing. But anyway, I'm trying to keep positive. I didn't sleep well last night. I never do before an interview, so I'm pretty tired. I might get tongue-tied a little bit. But so I'm out here. Like I say, it's Thursday afternoon, about 3:15. I'm home alone. The boys went with my in-laws Tuesday after the lightninged out baseball game, and are there until tonight's baseball game. Because of the interview, and then yesterday my wife's uncle brought furniture. He bought this furniture, whole apartment's worth of furniture, from a coworker who got relocated, and I think they had just bought that furniture last fall, and it's very high end. We got the couch and love seat moved in yesterday, and so we were cleaning, straightening up, getting ready for that, getting the old couch out, and we're keeping the old love seat to put downstairs. But then we kept the dog in fenced off with the old baby gates, fenced off like the hall with the bedroom and the kitchen, and we put her little bed in the kitchen, and she stayed in there, and to keep her off. And then we're gonna start eating at the dining room table instead of kind of on the furniture watching TV, to keep the kids from messing up the furniture, but it will also be a very nice family thing. But anyway, so after that game, Nathaniel had just gotten a hit. It was bottom of the second. He'd just gotten on base, and they took a lightning timeout, and a couple minutes later they called the game because the weather was doubling back. We were talking with my in-laws and got the boys in the car just in time for it to start really raining hard. We went to a Mexican restaurant. When we came out, Shana was buckling their car seats into the car, and I was looking at the sky. Or no, we were saying they were in the car, and I was walking back to our car, and I looked up in the sky, and it was just constantly lighting up. Never seen it. I put the clip up here. I filmed it for about 30 seconds or so, and it's just rumbling. So I'll insert that clip here. that was pretty neat. But we came home and cleaned, and then I was cleaning yesterday while Shana was working, and kind of put a piece of plywood out back. We brought the stuff in through the dining room window, which faces the backyard. We have a gate out there along the street, and our windows are huge, and you can just lift the panes out. And that's the easiest. Oh, it's so easy. Trying to get anything in and out of our doors is just impossible because it's just a ton of angles and tight spaces. But that's nice. They are comfy. I mean, I sit in the recliner all the time, but we're also going to get the thing that started all, he got that, and we were like, hey, can we get that king bed? So we're going to take our bed and put it in our third bedroom, and take the kids' twin bed and put it downstairs somewhere. But get that king size bed probably next week or the week after next. Have to do a lot of cleaning and reorganizing and stuff, and moving obviously and stuff. But that's kind of exciting. But I mean, we're getting this stuff for a steal. Later, getting it for a little bit over a fifth of the original cost of the living room and stuff. I don't know what the bed costs, but it's pretty awesome. But we're gonna try to keep the dog off of it, and the boys from messing it up. We'll see how that goes. But oh, it feels nice out here now. Hopefully you're not getting a lot of this wind sound. Probably get a lot of the traffic and maybe insect sounds. But so last week I mentioned not having a microphone, and the audio was not great. I'm hoping it's a lot better. I'll definitely be interested to check it out. But I had bought a while back a little tiny shotgun microphone. I still have no idea where that lav mic went to in the adapter. But I was so ticked with myself, so stupid last week. This mic, so it comes with a cable for like mirrorless and DSLR cameras, and it comes with a smartphone camera. I guess there are like 3 versus 4 little areas on the jack or something. But I don't know where that adapter is, and I realize I'm filming on my old iPhone 6, not my, this is my normal camera, the 8 Plus. That thing still has a headphone jack, so I could have used it last week. So I'm kicking myself, but so I'm hoping that this thing works out fairly well. It has really good reviews, but I'm not sure about background noise. I'll have to test it in the basement too sometime to see how much, if I have that fan close to me, if it picks it up much, or if I put it on the other side. It's supposed to be kind of directional. But so like I say, I have Northwoods in here, and I think I mentioned last week, but edited it out, that I'm kind of the king of relights. I used to be more attentive to my to the way I packed my pipe, and nowadays I'm not. I just kind of shove it in there, and as a consequence, I need to relight. I read an article a couple weeks ago from Smoking Pipes, which I'll look back up, and then I'll put a link in the description below. But it was about, I can't remember what the method is called, but basically you pack it and leave an air pocket at the bottom of the bowl. So I just took a honking wad of tobacco and kind of held the pipe upside down and shoved it in there, and then add a little more on top and very lightly pushed it in. And there were some, loose bits that when I was lighting, I sucked in the tobacco and had to spit out. Well, now that I say it's had been a problem, it's going to be a problem. Jinx myself, but it has been a whole lot better. thing I do is over tamp all the time. And with that, at least initially, you really have to watch your tamping so that you don't collapse that. After a while, apparently once you've smoked for a while and it's gotten good, like a good surface there for your ember, I guess you can kind of pack it a little more, and it's not as bad. But I don't know. I guess the theory behind it is it helps keep the ember and keep the draw open and stuff. Based on this one trial run, I'm liking it so far. It really wasn't difficult to do. And I rarely ever smoke an entire bowl, pack it all the way full. I never smoke it to the bottom. So I always end up packing not as deep. But this way, kind of get an even burn, even cake. Couldn't find my regular pipe nail, so I'm using this thing I made. What it is, I don't know if it's going to focus on it or not. Of course, I have the screens away from me, but it's old dried out Escudo and resin, and then the brass is the back end of a machine screw. Not a machine screw, a Chicago screw. That was the best of my first test run, and I did a second run of them, and they were horrible. They didn't work out. The bubbles, there were so many bubbles in them that they receded below the machine screw, or the Chicago screw. I was hoping they'd be better. I sent the second best, because I already used this one. Sent the second best to Russell, the winner of McGall. But, oh, by the way, I'll also add a link to his Instagram account, so go give him a follow if you're on Instagram. But, it's funny, it's just, normally use a pipe nail, and I end up using a Bic lighter. I have so many expensive lighters. I've spent entirely too much money over the years on lighters for both cigars and pipes. And I always default back to the good old Bic. This one today, I don't know if it's because it's so warm out, and I always end up just holding it. And that heats it up and helps it have a bigger flame. But, you light it and then let go, and there's that little burst of gas afterward, and I think about 5 times the ash, a little bit of ash pops out with that little pressurized burst. One time a daggone spark came out and landed on my shirt. I don't think it burned it though, but so it's just funny how, for me, I would say I waste money on good lighters and then just always default to a Bic. But old boy style I like alright, but they're nice, they're beautiful lighters, they're reliable, but flipping and lighting and then having to flip the lid back down, and I like the concept of a tamper in a lighter, and it's handy as a backup, but I still end up using the pipe nail because I don't like check tools all that much. I don't like any tamper that doesn't have a circle, a full circle on the bottom, and it's just, I know it's a weird kind of pet peeve, person preference sort of deal, but I basically like to tamp around, and I feel like anytime there's, like, say the little crescent cutout from an old boy or anything like that, or that flat spot on a check tool, that just, there's a little bit less that's getting tamped. I can consciously, like, either spin the pipe around or spin the tool around so the edge is always hitting the round part, but I'm too lazy for that stuff. But with the boys gone, we went on a date night last night, which was pretty cool. We got this new furniture in, and I got showered up, and I'm wearing, this is what I wore last night. I actually put goop in my hair for once. And, but we went to a new to us restaurant in St. Albans. And it was Angela's on the River, pretty nice place. And it was really good. I don't think I mentioned it, but I've been on the low carb diet. I started that back on Monday, August 3rd. And then I'm keeping track every Monday morning before I eat or drink or go to the bathroom what my weight is. And this Monday I was down like 15.2 pounds, but last night I cheated. So I got a filet, mac and cheese, scalloped potatoes, and then I got blackberry cobbler and ice cream. And I had dinner rolls and a Sprite. So I really, if I cheat, it's no holds barred. So it was all good, but it was all different. Like they each had a different flavor, a different ingredient or component to them. The mac and cheese wasn't that far off from, it was just like normal elbow macaroni, but it had a little something extra in the flavor. The filet I could tell was marinated, but I couldn't pick out what it was. It had almost like a sweet flavor. I don't know if it was a tiny bit of teriyaki or something. And in the scalloped potatoes were like chunks of potato, you know, kind of like you'd have in a potato salad instead of the thin slices. And it had a tang to it. I don't know if they had something pickled in there. At first I thought it was sour cream, and I was like, I've never tasted sour cream that has that much zing to it. It was really good, but it was potent. And then I guess it was the crust of the blackberry cobbler had almost like a graham cracker flavor to it. And you know, everything was different, but it was you know, non-traditional.
When you get these tests, don't come to LSTD. You want that LSTD?
I don't even know what I was talking about. I don't know if that picked up, but that was quite interesting. People are crazy. Yeah, I think this packing method is really working out. I'll have to pay attention to do that in the future with any kind of, you know, ribbon, tobacco, or shag. I don't know how well I'm sure you can make it work with flakes somehow. Coins. Maybe fold them up enough and just leave them, I don't know, leave them at the top, put a little bit down, put a little bit of rub stuff, but of course it could be the tobacco tube. You know, I don't always plan ahead with getting ready to pack a bowl. Sometimes I don't let the tobacco dry enough. I always, you know, if it's any kind of flake or anything like that, I'm terrible about leaving it out long enough. Man, this tastes good though. Nice day. I looked at the weather app, my phone's weather app yesterday, and her uncle was talking about, you know, they brought it was 2 loads, and they live about half hour, 45 minutes away. I said, well, we'll see if the weather's good. And I thought, I don't see anything on it, you know, there was no rain cloud or anything. But whenever I looked, right at game time for today, there were rain clouds. I was like, daggone it, man, the thing will be so disappointed if it gets rained out. But so far, it just has a regular cloud, not like a rain cloud or a lightning bolt coming out of a cloud. And I've gotten a fair bit of sun. You know, I actually have, I think it would qualify as a little bit of a tan now. Well, it would. I always wear these old, broken down Adidas sports slides, which, you know, just sandals with the loop around the top that you slide into. And I have like a farmer's tan on my foot. It's dark, white, dark with very definite lines between them. Hear that woman yelling at that man all the way down the hill. They got a little girl in the back seat. Man, people are crazy. I just looked at them at like 27 minutes or something. I'm sure I'll end up cutting some of this. There's some bad language in those outbursts, so I'll probably edit a chunk of that out. But anyhow, so I'm hoping to get more opportunities to film like this. You know, hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping I'll get a job soon, but if not, you know, the boys will start school here in a few weeks, and Shane is going to be going back to the office more often, so that'll give me more opportunities, you know, to come out here and chat. I'm going to try to get out in the woods some, get some more of the hike and pipe series going. But I think I've jabbered on for enough today. So, until next time, thanks for tuning in, guys.